Okay,
I'm here.
we're here.
Yolanda's here. MBE Project's here.
Tiffany is here.
Yes. Physically.
Listen, if they knew what it took to get you straight right now, honey, I was a
Uh,
little concerned.
oh, I just thought that you thought it was funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. I just didn't know what was happening.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
I
But
am
we
glad
made it.
we made it.
Yep.
I'm so glad to see your sweet face.
Same.
Honey, I am so glad that we are now in the final suit of this journey.
Yes.
Hello, Pentacles.
Yes.
Oh,
On the
yes.
money and material things.
Give it to us.
Give us some stability.
Earth magic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know,
Tell me.
this is an interesting suit. I guess I should say, like, a lot of people connect it with, what do you call it? What's it? Money, finances. But material wealth can mean many things,
Mm-hmm.
could be a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. So
And
things that are external that what are the words I'm looking for? Yeah, just like external, tangible things that we surround ourselves with, not necessarily just possessions, but experiences even.
yeah. But the thing with the coin itself or the pentacle itself, even though it reminds me of a pentagram in a way,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I see a 5-pointed star, it reminds me of our mastery. So the 4 points at the bottom half representing the elements, and the top one is like our higher self, like mastering the elements.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So throughout all of this, we talked about what? Water, air, fire, and now here we are at the fourth element, earth.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you've learned to master something, or you're working on yourself at
Yeah,
least.
or at least you've got the tools of the elements in your
Totally.
tool. So the application is up to you.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing in that is like recognizing our choice, recognizing our ability so that we do feel more like participants in whatever our experiences are rather than feeling like stuff is just happening to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. So how do you feel about the Pentacles doll?
The Pentacles. I like them because it is a grounding energy when I look at them, and when I see the messages that come through with the cards, it makes me think about like, how am I here on this earth, and what am I doing with the energy that I expend in through my creation, right? So we talked about the fire, to like, we talked about our emotions. Our emotion can be connected to our will, and then our will is what we put out into the world, and then the pentacles can be, well, we should take that back, right? The air, we think about it, and then the emotions we attach to things. The fire is the drive and the will, and then it comes out and manifests in the world. So really, I guess the pentacles can represent that which we manifest out into the world, the external world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And I like the order that you went into. It goes, I mean, that's the way. Yeah, that's the way I would think of it too. I was trying to think of the order of like water and fire, but yeah, I like that. So do you want to start us out with the aces, or are you here yet?
I'm kind of here. Yeah. I'm here enough.
Okay.
So the Ace of Pentacles, there's always that hand that's offering us what the suit has to offer. And I feel like it's always giving it to us, everything that it has. So like everything that earth energy has is being gifted to us by the ethers. And it's a card of new beginning since it's number 1. And it's a very fortuitous card.
Yeah, this one is considered like the lucky card, like when you see this one, it could be new beginnings. Yes, new job opportunity, new money coming. But yeah, a lot of people see this and consider it like the lucky card of the deck. I think in thinking of it that way, looking at the elements of it, not only is the hand out there, but it's like radiating, ooh, that golden coin and that beautiful path with a trellis with the mountains in the background and these, I don't know the names of flowers. Those aren't daffodils. What are those?
Lilies. Yeah, they look like lilies of the
White
valley.
lilies. Yeah. And it's just beautiful. Nice,
Yeah.
serene little um, picture at the bottom. And then this coin, this gold coin coming out of the clouds, like it is your time.
Yeah. And I like how the valley that's there with like the trellis and the flowers, it's almost like you're in this garden of abundance.
Mhm.
And there's still like you can see the mountain in the background, and it's like there's this other like greater world outside of you too. So like you have it all within you and you have it all without you.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster.
As above, so below, as within, so without.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a great feel good. I mean, especially when you think about that's something that so many of us are consumed with. Like we're really taught to, I guess, conditioned in so many ways just to pay attention to the material realm, like what's going on outside of us, like what do I have outside of myself. So I think that's why this particular suit resonates with people so much, because it's usually points to a lot of what people want to know about, like
Mm-hmm.
what's up with my money and my job. you know
Yeah, right.
but anyway, again, like our material abundance and wealth could be so many other things.
Yeah. And I feel like it's the easiest place to begin to start working on things. You know, we say like, what is up with my money and what's up with my job? And those are things that we can almost kind of control more than we think that we can control more than we can control our thoughts and our emotions. And it's almost like that's the easiest place to begin. And then you start doing that inward journey, kind of like the backwards, how we said like air to thought to emotions to fire to earth. If we do it, it's almost easier to start it in reverse, right? With like the
It is
physical
easier,
realm.
but it's easier, but it's not necessarily to our benefit,
Yes.
I guess I would say, because
We're
like,
conditioned to think that it's easier.
yes, and we do, like, say for example, if it was like you were thinking about money or I don't know, something material, right? Like we will freak out, like I can be happy once all this is settled down, then I'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But as hard as it is to be in a state of peace when everything outside of you seems wrong, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
you will come into alignment and create what you need quicker if you are
Right.
able to come into that state of peace. So while it's like inconvenient to go in order, it would be a quicker process. But
Yeah.
just like you said, it's very hard for us to do that.
Right. It's because it's not taught, it's not supported, and it's not cultivated. That idea that if we were to sit and get quiet and understand, and then it would come faster.
Yeah,
We're taught
no.
to work hard, do this, ignore your dreams and your passions.
But it's one of those things too, like that goes exactly with what you said. It's like you have to experience it to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, with the conditioning we have,
True.
it's really, really hard to trust it. And that's why I think so many people you hear about when they go through the dark night of the soul or they come into this work and like hit a wall, they are confronted with, in a lot of ways, the way to start doing things that is much different than what is comfortable or what we were used to.
Yeah.
Whew, honey.
Yeah. I
Ah,
just had a very similar
oh,
conversation with a client this morning like that.
this work, it'll change you.
Uh-huh.
Two of Pentacles. He looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah. I always
This. Oh, go ahead.
I always think that like I think of a circus when I see this one.
Yeah, he always reminds me of like balancing acts, like juggling two things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think like, is there a decision you need to make, like a financial decision, or maybe a opportunity? Like you have two different sides or two different opportunities, but
Mm-hmm.
there's something where a decision needs to be made or something needs to be focused on. But it could also be that maybe you need to get more balanced, you like be more practical, like stop trying to juggle so many things. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's interesting.
I think all that you said was very important to this card, and also that it's two things I see in addition to that is negotiations. We're constantly negotiating
Mm,
between different things all the time and trying to weigh out which decision we're going to do, whether it's a negotiation within ourselves or if it's with somebody else. And we're like, there's a give and take to the compromise, right?
yep.
But then also with the background and the ships and those waves, it makes me think of the ebb and flows of money. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we hold on to things so tightly.
Oh wait, have you ever heard the saying when people say, "I'm waiting for my ship to come in"?
Oh, yeah, perfect. There we go. That originated from this card, people. Here you have it. That is not a full truth. It may be a truth, but I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah,
So.
hopefully they know by now how sarcastic you are.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
But check out his hat, though. That's what I'm kind of like,
That's
whoa.
what makes me feel like he belongs in the circus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the deal with that hat is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Uh-huh.
You have it on your spreadsheet?
I have some notes here. He needs to be practical and use his head to make a decision and find balance, which is symbolized by his tall red hat.
That is symbolizing what?
He's got a really big head to make decisions. I also don't know if that's true.
You're saying a lot of things today that you are not sure is true. And let me say, while for anybody else,
that was from a book. I just read that sentence from a book.
Yeah, but I'm just surprised because you are typically like, you will freak out until you know the exact details. So for you to say two things in a row and say, I don't know if it's true, honey.
I'm trying to change my ways,
Yes,
Yolanda.
honey, clearly. Honey, high five up top. Tiffy's letting loose, having fun. Okay. Three. Pentacles.
Yes. As soon as I see this one, it always makes me think set in stone and creating. So like we're creating something material in the world and that we're setting it in stone because we've worked so hard and we want it to be admired. Because this guy he's creating something and there's two people there looking at it. And it seems like he's either explaining it or he's like, yeah, bitch, I did that.
Oh. Well, for me, whenever I see three, right away I think creativity. But this one in particular, because there's such different people, the three of the people, it's one of those things that stands out for me, the collaboration aspect of it all,
Yeah.
Like one person, I don't know, like we have someone that looks like they work in the church, someone else, it could be a jester, who knows who they are. But they're all very different in whatever they bring to the table. And yet they seem to be coming together for a mutual project or some creative endeavor. So this card for me really stands out to considering sometimes, like a lot of times we think like, oh, I just want to be around people who think like me, believe what I believe, whatever. If you allow yourself to connect with people that maybe have different thoughts, different ideas, different talents, you may come together and create something much more interesting than if you had a bunch of people that were all doing the same thing.
Right.
That's what I like about it.
Yep. I agree.
I was thinking in the shower today, this is so random. I won't say what prompted the thought, but but I was thinking like, just the life in general, like how lucky we are. Like there's a variety of everything, right? We have a variety of culture. We have a variety of like hair and people, flowers, and so I'm going down this rabbit hole of like the variety of everything, right? And I was thinking, if you were a kid, how bad would it suck if there was only one color in the coloring box? Like what a boring coloring experience that would have been, right?
Ew, and what if it was brown?
I love brown.
You do?
Yes.
You would just color with brown.
Yes. Well, no, I wouldn't want to color with one color, period. I don't care what color it is, but I love brown. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Honey, well, hopefully I like brown. I look in the mirror and that's what I say. Yes, I love brown. But I also thought, like, what if there was only one flower, one color of one flower? Like, it would just, our lives are so
bad.
Yeah, but it's like the diversity in everything is what makes life so interesting. And because we have different types of everything, we're able to create more things. You know what I mean? So it comes back to the people. Get out there, meet people who do different things. See what you can learn from each other or create together. That's all. Ready for number 4?
Yes. I was thinking about the planets, but yes. Let's move on. Number 4.
How do you feel about them?
I feel like I understand him, but
Hmm.
I also see the error in his ways. So I guess we should tell people who aren't watching this. It's a man sitting on a concrete block in front of a town, and he's got both feet on a pentacle each. He's got a pentacle on the top of his head, and he's holding a pentacle in front of his chest. And so for me, one thing is I see financial stability, but also that he worked really hard to get it, and so he's keeping it close to him. But because he's being kind of miserly with it, he's blocking his solar plexus in his heart. So like he really isn't allowing himself to expand because of the miserliness of it. However, because of the stability aspect, it's understandable.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because it does remind me of someone that's either guarding what they find is valuable, or again, like that, like a Scrooge or something like this,
Mm-hmm.
or someone who may be obsessing about financial security. But I also think it's interesting too that the placement of the pentacles on him, because like the wealth on his head, his heart, and at his feet. And it makes me think of
Snoop Dogg. He's got his money on his mind and his mind on his money.
I need you to give it to me. Honey, I was like, where are you going with that? No, no. No, I think because he's very one, yes, we can't, like, our heart is important to us. Our mind is important to us. Like being here in body, in form, like these are things that are very important and precious to us, like being here in this incarnation. So while it can be, about financial security or guarding our finances or being Scrooge or greedy, I think it also can very much be about like guarding what matters to us. It reminds me of when people say like protect your peace, or like, oh, I'm protecting my space, or like I don't want to go to certain environments because I don't want to expose
Protecting my
myself
energy.
to
Yeah.
XYZ, or like I don't watch certain things or listen to certain, like this card reminds me of all of that, and how that type of alignment and that type of self-management, whether it's financial, whatever you're governing in of yourself, is what helps you to feel stable. Number
Yeah.
4.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. Taking inventory of what makes you feel stable, and then maybe questioning it. Is it either supporting you or is it hindering you?
Yeah. That's an interesting way to look at it. Because that
Yeah.
is true too. Like a lot of things that make us feel secure and comfortable are not necessarily, it's not necessarily supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So far, so good. I think the Pentacles, I could see even in these first 4 cards why people enjoy this particular suit. And again, it's something that we commonly are concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
Our stability, our creations, our wealth, and work.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts about these 4?
I feel like the beginning numbers of the cards typically are kind of like a little bit lighter than the bigger numbers, larger numbers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been working with a lot of numbers today too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, like, in all fairness, and we
Yeah.
tell you guys this all the time, like, we pre record sometimes, and right now it's actually evening for us. So this is the end of our day.
Yeah.
And because we are always transparent with you, we also are like,
Front loading.
honey, we're ready to be done with these daggone tarot cards.
Oh yeah, that's the truth. Yeah. That's the truth.
So it's like we're at the finish line. Tiffany, come on, you could do it, honey.
Yeah, it's
Get
like
your
it's the
energy
last
up.
mile stretch.
Oh. At least we're ending with this suit. So as always, we would love to hear what comes up for all of you, what your thoughts are about the Pentacles or any other cards that we've gone through. And you can connect with us on Facebook at MBE Project.
Mm-hmm. Or go to mbeproject.com and find our various outlets where you can find us and contribute and contact us.
Yeah.
Tell
And
us what you want, what you really, really want.
oh, ooh.
Yeah.
And then just in a couple of weeks, we will be done with this journey and going back to our rabbit holes. So we would love to know if there's anything you would like to hear about, what you would like to talk about, anything at all.
Yeah.
Email us. Let us know.
Uh-huh. Give us the good stuff.
You ready, Tiffy?
Hasta luego.